Gold hits another record high, and silver pops up over $33 an ounce. And now we have a headline. $4,000 gold is coming as risk assets crack, says Bloomberg's Mike McGlone. Gold today up over well over $3,300 an ounce. And there are many like Peter Schiff who are saying we have a liquidity problem. The Feds are going to have to lower interest rates, and then they're going to have to get involved in quantitative easing. This is a very important topic. Let me go over to worldviewreport.com. I think that's where we have the article today at worldviewreport.com about Peter Schiff. If I can find it real quick, because I was reading that interview and he did a great job talking about this. Well, I'll try to find it while I talk to Michael Weiner. But $4,000 gold. I said on radio today, do you remember when Jim Rickards was talking about $5,000 gold a few years ago? When we were hearing numbers like that, we thought, that's crazy. Can you imagine what must be going on in the country to have $5,000 an ounce gold? Well, here we are, over $3,300, and we have, the comment being made by Bloomberg, one of their guys, we're headed to $4,000 gold. So here we are, folks. By the way, we had some folks last night at the Waukesha Expo Center who said, one of them came up to me and said, I just finished a deal with Mike Weiner for my IRA. We've been talking about it for 5 years. And I said, well, that's great, but don't you wish you'd gotten involved in this 5 years ago with the price move? And she said, oh, yeah, but as Michael Weiner said, it's better to jump in now around $3,000 an ounce than to wait for it to go to $5,000. And they're exactly right, because I think that's where it's going. Michael, welcome back to the broadcast. Another historic jump in the price of gold. What do you make of this headline? $4,000 gold's coming. And what do you make of Peter Schiff saying the collapse? We're in the dollar collapse. We got a big problem here. Feds are going to have to lower interest rates. They're going to have to go back to quantitative easing. What are your thoughts on all this?
I know Peter personally, and at the end, reality is going back to the Mike Weiner prediction board of in January 5th when I predicted 3,000 the end of March. And the last time we did a show, I said, boy, we might hit 3,300 before the end of the month, and here we are. I can tell you now, gold is being used. There's a big factor that all these people are losing. Putting aside the money problem, the money problem exists because under Biden, not at the fault of Donald Trump, he printed too much money. We have a major issue in the bond market, a major stability issue in the bond market that could collapse. We have a debt crisis, and that has to be dealt with, and turning that debt over coming up in a few months that will affect the bond market. Basant knows it. That's why he's embracing gold as part of the United States government again. You're going to see that happen in Fort Knox. But the reality is the world is looking at gold as money. That's why Utah wants to pay their bills in gold. Gold, in my opinion now, I'm raising my little Weiner outlook to 4,200 or better year end, might hit 4,500. And it's not because of problems in the United States. It's because the world's embracing gold as money, the issues in the bond market that are there, and additionally, the currency issue of too much money out there. The Federal Reserve, rather than playing political games that they are playing right now, they say they're not, but they are hurting this country, and they're breaking the law. Actually, the law states they can't do this. So it's quite concerning, but I think when it all comes out in the wash, we've got the right people in power right now to pull this out. But for these people who sit back and say gold is too high, call me in December and tell me that, okay? The reality is for the people who call us today, I had somebody call me and just ask me that, well, my financial advisor doesn't recommend gold. Well, they don't recommend gold because they don't make money on it. Gold is a tangible asset. It's not a fungible asset. It's not paper where you can keep charging fees. So it's actually an antichrist to them. And the bottom line is, please, 95% of the time, Wes and I would tell you, financial planners don't embrace gold because they don't understand it. That's why. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. So gold, what did it do today? What did it hit today? 33 what?
33.32 right now. 33.32.
33.32. And
Correct.
what did silver do?
Silver's a little bit over $33.05 right now. So the big margin for silver is if going over $34 is a huge threshold. If it goes over 34, it should run to 40 for those technical people. That's when it's going to get interesting for silver.
Is, now, are we going to see the Fed's lower interest rates?
This Federal Reserve idiots, they should do it in June.
And we got a dogfight right in the middle of the studio, so you'll have to apologize. Our little mini Schnauzer and Dolly are going at it, but keep going, Michael.
My money on Dolly. Anyways, I think that they won't do it in June because they literally won't do it to snub Trump. But I think they will be forced to do it in the fall. I just don't trust them. They don't show to have. They should have done it the last time they got together, and they didn't. So based on that, I think they'll pass on June and flow into the year end. That's when I think we'll have it.
And again, you agree that there's a liquidity problem here?
Absolutely. There always has been. Plus, there's a huge bond instability situation. Huge bond instability situation that has to be dealt with, especially coming up with this debt turnover that we have coming up. The United States government has to flip over its debt that it has. And that's something, and it's not something for all the people out there, none of this is Trump's fault. It was given to him by Nappy Boy Joe, who was on TV last night. He must have been on heroin or something, talking about Social Security, which the only thing he should talk about is leaving. But I think that the liquidity problem was caused by the Democrats. They're not embracing it. They're going to blame all this on Trump. But I think realistically, the people who will solve it are in office right now. I think it'll get bad and then start clearing up by the year end.
But if it's clearing up, why is gold going to be hitting record highs into maybe 3,400 by the end of the year, as you predict?
Gold is going to help it to clear up. Gold will help it to clear up because when the United States government reissues a statement that no longer their gold is priced at $4,250, it's based on the spot price of gold. What does that do to gold? It states that the United States of America says $3,332 is the price gold should be today. What does that do for gold? Creates a floor market. It's going to be a constant positive. And I said this before, and you're going to see China on the other end utilizing their gold with the BRICS. The battle is not going to go away, but at least we have people fighting it that are fighting it. And the only way you can properly protect yourself is to stabilize your portfolio by having an anchor in it and some precious metals. And don't wait, because you'll pay me more later. I've said it before. Every time I say it, somebody calls me up and says, I should have listened to you 2 weeks ago. I'm telling you now, gold's 40,000, 4,200 year end. It's now April 16th.
4,000, 4,200. Wow. 4,000, 4,200 by year's end. Again, if you want to find out how to put gold in your portfolio, numismatic, 1933 and older, which provides privacy. If you want to find out about bullion or putting gold into your IRA. The couple again last night, dear couple, said, hey, we just did a deal with Michael Weiner putting gold in our IRA. We've been talking about it for 5 years. We finally pulled the plug on it. And they were very happy. I had 2 or 3 people last night tell me how happy they are working with you and Wes, Michael. So thank you for taking care of our people.
We love them. They're good people.
If you want to get yeah, they are good people. Look at this, folks. If you want to get more information, get the free packet. Just go to worldviewgold.com, worldviewgold.com. Fill out the form at the bottom of the page, and you'll get a free, no obligation packet of information on putting gold into your portfolio, including if you want to put gold into your IRA, okay? And then you can take custody of it, pay the tax and take custody of it, or pay the tax and take a check, sell some of it and get a check. And you can just keep drawing on it as the price goes up. and you can keep the rest of it as that hedge against inflation and draw on it as you need it. That's what Wes and Michael explain, all of that to you and how it works. Again, they're not interested in selling you. They're interested in educating you. And once you're educated, then you can make an informed decision. I personally don't give financial advice. I give financial opinion. My opinion is you should get the free packet of information, do your own homework, and then go from there. Worldviewgold.com to get that free packet of information. Worldviewgold.com as gold hits another record high. Thanks for being with us, Michael.
Always a pleasure, Brandon. Nolly, have a good night. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Weiner checking in. Check out worldviewgold.com. All right, that's our broadcast for April 16th, 2025. Take a look at the screen right here. Go there, will you, right now? Worldviewfoundation.com. That you help us make things take place like last night, where we were able to encourage and equip and edify over 1,000 people, standing room only. All right. Again, we announced tonight for the first time, we're headed to our nation's capital the first week of May, taking a motor coach, taking the film crew. We're going to produce a lot of interviews that we're going to bring you right here on Brandon House Live. That's not going to be cheap. So we need your support. Worldviewfoundation.com, worldviewfoundation.com to bring you Christian worldview news and information, or join the vault for some behind the scenes programming on that trip. Worldviewtube.com/vault, worldviewtube.com/vault. Roll the music. Let's call it a night. Thanks to all of you who pray for us. One lady said, I've been praying for you. She was right there in front of me. She said, this is my first time to meet you in person, Brandon. I've been praying for you for years. I met the gentleman last night that told my wife he was awakened in the middle of the night and urged to pray for my family and I. That was within a few hours, our motor coach tower blew out, ended up in the ditch. Could have been killed easily. So thank you to all of you that pray for us. We appreciate that. May God save America. Take care.